is Average Joe PT, where we're here to reduce your pain, reduce anxiety through education, and improve your function through physical therapy and fitness. Now today we're going to talk about good old Mr. and Mrs. Disc. Bulge, herniation, rupture, fragmentation.
All right, folks, we are live. Come on in. Let's see what we got going on this fine Sunday morning. I got us all set up here as best as I can. I gave you guys a little bit of different view, kind of like what you would normally see on one of my shows. So I figured a little bit of different view, maybe each time that I do a live, it'd be kind of cool. And so I'm going to go ahead and give us a shout out. Go ahead and come on in. Let's see, let's go ahead. We're going to shout out to everybody today. We're going to start with Facebook. Share me out if you can. I'm going to go ahead and do that myself, all the different platforms that I'm on. I hope you all are doing great this fine Sunday morning. Alright, going to do that. That'd be awesome. And we're going to throw this out to Twitter. There you go, Tweedledee. Alright, and let's see what else we got. We got Instagram.
Now, this disc itself, as it starts to bulge out, basically there's nerve endings only on the outside. The disc itself does not have any nerve endings, so you could have multiple tears within the ring of the disc and not have any symptoms because there's no nerves there until it starts to push out.
I hope you all are going to have a fine Sunday. It's kind of shiny here a little bit. Let's see. I have a shoulder pain now. I need help. Hey, Miss Godlin. Yeah, we all got all kinds of shoulder stuff there, Miss Godlin. So today we're going to talk basically about physical therapy, and if you guys have any kind of generalized questions in regards to maybe what's going on in your guys' life, maybe some aches and pains. Let's see who else I'm going to share this out to. These have got a lot of different platforms I'm using now, don't I? Let's see. That's good for now. So I have this old video playing in my background here, and this was done a long time ago, probably at least maybe 2 months ago, and versus the video I dropped yesterday on the disc, on lower back and disc issues. Let me get into my live chat here. Oh, Brown Eye Trucker, meant to be RV, and thanks for coming, both of you. Morning. So I just got done, obviously, shouting us out. Maybe we'll get some more people in here. Got make some calls, want to stop by, thumbs up. Hi from South Carolina. Well, I ain't that far away. I'm in North Carolina, so I'm probably, what, maybe an hour from Lumberton? Maybe that far? Yeah, probably an hour from Lumberton. So that's basically South Carolina. Give me a thumbs up if you'd like. It would be great. See how much more people we can get in here. I started my live a little bit later and see what happens versus... I think last week I started like 9:45, and I really didn't start to see people come in until right around this time. So I'm kind of playing it by ear a little bit and see when people are actually available or when they want to be available. Seems to be a little bit of a lag, a little bit, not a lot, but it seems to be a little bit, as I can see on from my end. This old video, basically, I was more in the specific details of a disc problem. I went over the anatomy and the different types of disc problems there actually are. And then specifically going over some exercises in greater detail than I did on my video that I just dropped yesterday. Yesterday's video was more I want to try and figure out whether people like more the B-roll and comedy with some content in it versus, you know, more just content. It's kind of hard at this point just because I've changed so much in regards to how my content's made, the type of special effects I put in it, how much B-roll I put in it. I'll go ahead and reset here for a second, see who's actually here. Kind of running dry right now. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if we can get some more people in here. You guys have any questions before I get started, or get a little bit more into what I'm talking about on this live stream? So I'm going to be kind of curious how well this last video does, because I've been 2 weeks in a row consistently talking about and doing, you know, the two characters, the two doctors, as well as more Scully stuff, more outdoor stuff. We'll see how that works out. It seems like I'm getting a lot more watch time, but I'm getting less overall views. So what are you guys seeing over this last probably week or two? Are you guys seeing less views on your channels and more watch time? Or are you guys seeing just the opposite? We got 3 in the house. Probably got one person that's not on chat. So I wore one of my Average Joe t-shirts today. Kind of trying to promote myself a little bit. I haven't got any newer ones yet. Everybody's real quiet today. Maybe they're all sick of doing live streams. I know everybody and their brother is doing live streams, and my guess is just because they're stuck at home all the time. I'd be kind of curious over, you know, we get into the heart of the summer, Memorial Day, July 4th, how much it drops off, and how consistent people are. Because from the stats I see on the internet, it looks like people, when it comes to their YouTube channels, people probably 3-6 months on YouTube when they start to kind of fall off in regards to, you know, you might get to see their stuff maybe once every 2 weeks or once every 3 weeks. Their consistency starts to really fall off. Not because it's summertime, just because they've been doing it, but they kind of didn't pace themselves, so they burned themselves out. And that's what I'm trying to do over the last probably at least month or so, probably close to 2 months, that I've been dropping myself down to just doing one show a week and then doing live streams, because live streams, though it takes time to organize all this and get everything rocking and rolling, what you guys see on your end, you know, it's nothing like doing a show, because a show takes me a solid 3, what you guys see on that, even that 6 or 7 minute video that I dropped yesterday. It took me a good, I don't know, 2.5 days, you know, doing it, thinking about it, editing it, and then kind of putting it all together. It took me 2.5, not quite 3 days, but pretty close, you know. 2 or 3 hours here, 2 or 3 hours there, over you know, a 3-day period. I don't know, you know, I never count, and probably no one does, or very few people do, count how much time, you know, the maybe 15 minutes here just thinking about what you're going to talk about that week, or, you know, title search and stuff like that. I probably spent even more time than 3 days when you look at title searches and stuff like that, and kind of figure out what title's actually going to work for your actual video that week. Got 2 in the house right now. Kind of quiet this morning. Shouted myself out. We'll see what happens. Maybe it gets a little bit nicer. People are actually getting outside. I'll be kind of curious what happens. Yeah, how many people got stuck in all winter versus, or just now being stuck at home because of the virus, and now, you know, some states opening up, and even though your state's not opening up, I think people are starting to get cabin fever, or just getting a little bit more courageous or courage in regards to taking their chance going out. Throw a yes if you're still here. I'll see how many people are actually in here. Meant to be RVing still here. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. You know, I guess it really doesn't matter whether I make you moderator or not, because apparently YouTube is now cracking down on the hyperlinks. You know, if you have, you know, if people were putting their hyperlink into the actual comment section on the live streams, and now they're considering that spam. So the reality is they don't want people putting their hyperlinks in either, and they don't want, you know, self-promotion. So I think that's actually, you know, on top of what YouTube has already done over the last month or so in regards to live streams, making it so you can't just click on their comment or icon and get pulled into their channel. I mean, now they've cut back even further and become more restrictive. So I wonder how these live streams are they're gonna have to be just like your regular show that you do, you know, your edited show versus a live stream show. I think they're making them trying to be the same sort of when it comes to the rules and restrictions for all these little things that they want you to do. Otherwise, they're going to basically either cut the video or take down the video. So this video right here that I did a while back is I had just gotten this model, and I'm like, oh, all right, I got this nice model. Let me go ahead and show the disc problem. So I went into a lot more detail on this video when it comes to the structure, what actually happens, and then the treatment. So not really, show aspect like what I just dropped yesterday, which was a lot just B-roll, music, content, exercises, which you should and shouldn't do. Very quick, edited kind of clips, and we'll see how that works out compared to what I did before, which was just a lot of just detailed type of stuff. So this video, or this live stream I should say, I kind of left it open-ended in regards to, like, you have any questions about physical therapy, which is just kind of huge, whether it's, you know, what's a physical therapist, or, you know, schooling, or, you know, or the actual, you know, video that I talked about, you know, this old video, we talk about that. This, I not sure if I had Adobe Pro yet, editing or not. Adobe Premiere, sorry, you know, I'm not sure if I was using the editing software program yet, or whether I was still using the iPhone, you know, app, you know, where you can edit and cut in your iPhone itself. I might have had Adobe. I know I didn't have Adobe After Effects. That didn't come out. I didn't start doing that probably until like the second or third video I did with Scully. So the After Effects, I think I started, but maybe second week in January or third week in January. I haven't been doing it very. I mean, you figure February, March, and then, you know, here we are end of April. So yeah, 2.5 months of Adobe After Effects I've been doing. And I think that's kept some people, or some more people, you know, that click on my thumbnail. I definitely see my click-through rate a little bit higher. And I also see, because of I've been kind of thrown out there, you know, YouTube has kind of thrown my videos out to more of the impressions rate, or the impressions itself, overall impressions. I see that, you know, I've had a little bit more subscribers that aren't based off of live stream subscribers, just generalized people that saw my content a few times and then became a subscriber. My hard part that I'm trying to see if I can get through, and this is why I'm changing my stuff a little bit to make it more of a show, trying to be less, and you know, I want to be instructive, informative videos, but I also want a little bit more comedy and show to it, because I want people to come back and watch for that aspect of it, as well as the instruction in the content. Because if I make it, my fear is if I make it just an instructional and content-based channel, then people are going to only show up when they have a particular problem with whatever body part I'm talking about, whether it's your, you know, whatever it may be. And so, versus if I make it more fun, more comedy, more humorous, then I'm hoping they'll come back a lot more just for that, and then the content will be secondary, though you still need content. Man, it's quiet in here today. Woo! 3.
That's the best thing you can do in position-wise.
Anybody have any questions so far?
Lying on your side against the wall, or pillows behind you, so you'll feel like you're rolling back with ice. 3-4 times a day, 15-20 minutes at a time. Limit your sitting. You're gonna do this faithfully for at least 72 hours. Get that inflammation to calm down, and then if it doesn't, that's immediate. You need to go see your doctor. You probably should see a doctor anyways if you're having some disc issues or just nerve pain down the leg, just to make sure that it's mechanical. But this would be really good for that.
Hey, BET, you still there? Did you drop a video this week? I didn't see one. I saw last week's where it was muddy and wet. Did you drop a video this week?
Lying on your stomach, hanging out of that, what I call letter C of the spine. You take the pillow up and just lie on your stomach.
Thank you there, meant to be RV, and that's very nice of you. Do you have any questions there, meant to be RVing? I gotta see here for a second. Where the heck is everybody tonight? Or today, I should say. I don't think a lot of people are doing lives. Maybe they're just sick of, you know, lives in general. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, there's a lot of people online. Maybe they're all doing their videos. I know. I love the new, probably over the last week or two I've noticed it. Yeah, there's only 2 people in here right now. It's crickets in here right now. Oh well. I want to thank the 2 people that are staying right now. I very much appreciate it. But I noticed the YouTube back end, they've changed a few things for me anyways. I think they're doing it for some content creators, is the what do you call it? Basically, what you see when you know what analytics are actually shown. You know where the person's watching the stuff, how long they're watching it for. You know, all these demographics that you see in the background a little bit. They're starting to change mine a little bit, and they looks like they updated my impressions and click-through right here. Probably went from, like, I think last week I said like 33,000 in a month, and now it's like 37,000 was my impressions. So I think it got either refreshed or whatever you want to call it, or reanalyzed, and it went from like 32 to 37. So my impressions rate, my overall impressions for a month went up 5,000, and my click-through rate is at like 3.6 right now %. Got 4 in the house. 4 in the house. And so I noticed that that's changed, and I'm just wondering if you guys have had any of that on your guys' end when it comes to the impressions and click-through rate. Some stuff, you know, when you see these larger YouTubers, they're talking about, oh yeah, you need to look through your analytics and see where people are dropping off and where they're, you know. When I look at where my channel is versus the average, you know, for my niche of content that you can click on, and it kind of gives you this bar graph across the average, and then you got above the bar graph, which means you're above the average or below the average curve for the straight line of, you know, how long people are actually watching your video for. Man, mine, no matter what, is always up and down. I mean, I'll get some steady states where I'm right on the average, but sometimes I'm way higher than the average, and then sometimes I'm dipping below the average for probably 2 or 3 minutes. So I kind of, you know, I was hoping that was going to give me a better idea of how well my content was expressing itself compared to everybody else within my niche, and it's not really helping me at all. You know, and I've looked at this thing for months, and it, you know, it kind of stays about that way. You know, I'm not getting where the dips are shorter, or, you know, less frequent or more frequent, or where it's at in the point in the video. There, you know, it changes a little bit where it is in the video, and I see that's where, you know, they talk about, all right, changing the video up a little bit, and I've done that, but I haven't seen much of a difference yet. Yeah, I think we're going to see, we've got 3 people in the house right now. Depending on what happens, we'll see here at about, you know, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. We'll see if people start to show up. I think even at 10:30, you know, my gut is I'm still probably on the early side of people either in the Philippines, people on the, you know, Central or Pacific time zones. I tried to make this video that I did yesterday a little bit shorter too. I did it 6-7 minutes, somewhere around in there, versus the 10-minute ones. And I'm going to be kind of curious. I know that I did this a while back, probably at least two or 3 months ago, where I did a few videos that were, you know, 5, 6, 7 minutes long. And they did, you know, 30, 40, some got close to 50% watch time. But it wasn't dramatically different than the watch time that I got for the 8, 9, and 10-minute videos. So I'll be kind of curious when I do it. I'm going to do a couple of weeks of shorter videos, like 6 or 7, 5, 6, 7-minute videos, and see if the watch time is longer, or better, I should say. See, maybe, you know, even though, yeah, the commercial, the whole 10-minute thing, you can put more commercials in there. Doesn't matter if no one's watching your video in the first place, or watching it long enough to go through the commercial. People front-ending their commercials really heavy right now, and I think that's going to turn a lot of people off. I think they're going to have a really high click-through rate, or just skip-through rate. Got 4 in the house right now. Or I did. People popping in and out every second. You're probably looking at me and wondering, hey, where is everybody?
Video if you want me to.
Hard to tell. You know, we're fighting with everything nowadays. You know, YouTube is, you know, one of those platforms that's,
Which is usually paying down the
What?
side of the leg that passes.
it's got to be close to 13, 14 years old. You know, YouTube as a platform itself. Now you're dealing with, like, you know, people that have, you know, they're, what would I say it in the nicest way possible. The person's attention span is probably, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute. So TikTok, you know, and Twitter and all these other platforms, you know, they're doing a little bit better, especially TikTok, because, you know, you condense all your craziness into, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute. Or even Instagram's the same way, 30 seconds to a minute. You know, that's basically someone's, you know, full-on attention span, at least from YouTube's algorithm, is, you know, if you can keep someone's attention span for a minute, then you'll keep them locked in for a little bit. That's true for me up to about probably 3.5 minutes of the video. If I can keep, let's say 40% of my viewer watching after 1 minute, they'll stick around for that 3.5 minutes, and then it drops down probably, I don't know, 25, 30%. After that, they'll watch the rest of the video. Hi, Bonnie Rose. Everyone, how is everyone doing this morning? I'm doing good. I think the thumbnails drive people to your channel, and then content keeps them. I hear that you should keep the length as long as the content. Yeah, I mean, I know initially that was the case. You know, content drives viewership. That's true. I mean, your thumbnails essentially. I mean, I just know from my experience and from when I listened to a couple of the other gurus that have been around YouTube for probably, you know, eight years or so. You know, yeah, you need the titles and thumb search and title search. I mean, so they need to at least get to the point where they can actually see your thumbnail. So you have to have a good title search, and then your thumbnail needs to grab them. But I think your click-through rate needs to be at least 2%. If your CTR, your click-through rate isn't at least 2%, you're probably doing terrible. I think the click-through rate on the average is between 2 and 6%. You know, if you fall within that guide, you're actually doing really well. And so, like I said, mine's running about 3.6, 3.8 right now, my click-through rate. My watch time's running between 30 and 40%, watching the whole video. 33, 34, 35% is basically what people are doing when they're watching my video, if I get someone to click on it. I'm getting unique views, which is that's kind of like the golden grail. If you look at your analytics, the unique view is what you want to see. After you look through everything else, that number is the number that you want. And I think mine's running like 1.5K. I think I did last month was my unique views.
3-4 times a day, 15-20 minutes at a time. Limit your sitting. You're going to do this faithfully for at least 72 hours.
So this video I'm showing in the background here is the old disc video I did 2 or 3 months ago. Probably more like 3 months ago now that we're almost into May. And compared to my new video that I dropped yesterday. So if you guys saw my video yesterday, which video do you like better so far? The video that you're watching now, my old video from 3 months ago or 4 months ago, or the video I dropped yesterday? You're not going to hurt my feelings at all. It's to kind of give me a kind of a litmus test, or kind of at least I was going to say barometric pressure, some sort of, you know, marker to figure out, you know, what you guys think.
Now, this should basically make the symptoms, if you have any leg symptoms, to make them reduce. Not increase your leg symptoms. You might have increased lower back pressure and pain, but you should have reduced leg symptoms with this exercise. If you don't, stop immediately, have to go see the doctor. In this position, watch hold for 10-15 seconds, come down flat, back up
Oh, crickets.
Now,
Yeah, I know. What I got? What, 30? Let's see what I got on that video right now.
let's say they're on your
Whoops,
right
my
leg,
bad. I have
to do this position, or if it's on your left leg, you'll do the opposite side. Let's just pretend
30.
it's on the right side.
So I've had 30 people watch my video in 23 hours. It hasn't been quite 24 hours yet since I dropped my video. And if BET is in here, BET knows that last week I was about the same right around this time. At 24 hours, I had like 30, 32 views. So that's what I'm getting on mine right now. Out of the almost 1,400 subscribers I have, I got like 13, 13.6, 13.7, something like that. You know, you get every day, you know, I get 3 or 4, I lose 5 or 6 subscribers, stuff like that's going on. So you get some drop-offs. I think YouTube is also, I have no proof of this, but I think YouTube is in the background unsubscribing to people where they don't watch your content for weeks, so you're not, you know, whatever's going on. I think that's what's happening, because I've had a few so far. I know personally myself that I had to resubscribe to their channel. I never unsubscribed to their channel at all, and so YouTube is doing that now. Whether they're doing that on accident or if they're doing that on purpose, but I know personally that YouTube algorithm unsubscribed me to 3 channels this week, and I had to resubscribe myself. So when they're unsubscribing you, that means that the reality is yeah, they're, you know, they're not gonna get the bell, they're not gonna get your live streams or anything like that. So hopefully my shout outs will help a little bit. But I think now that we've got these newer platforms that are doing quite well, you know, people talked about, this was probably last year, like, yeah, you know, if you go on to different platforms and do well there, maybe that you can pull them into your main platform. You know, in this case for me is YouTube. I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing, like, if you see people on Twitter and you get followers on Twitter or Instagram, then that's what they do. They're going to follow you on Twitter or Instagram or TikTok or something like that. They're not going to then watch you on whatever it is, you know, Facebook or YouTube. They're going to watch you on that particular platform because that's the platform that they use. You might, you know, it's not out of the possibility that you won't get people that come over on your other platform, but I think there's a lot more anecdotal evidence and just speculation than truly any kind of factual information or data that says that, yeah, if you're on these other platforms long enough, you know, and somehow you're going to pull them into your main YouTube platform and you're going to have more views that way. I don't, at least so far for me over the last 2 months or 3 months that I've been on Instagram, I haven't seen that at all. Got 3 in the house. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Let's see how many thumbs I got. Ooh. This is going to be a bad one today. But I think
and then you're going to have an issue. That's at that point it's a herniation. As I talked from the very beginning,
I got on the gum. What's up, you and your, this is your man cave upstairs. I got one of those, what's going on, man, average Joe. That's what they call a run-on sentence. How you doing? Thanks for coming by. You know what I noticed this last week too is that a lot of the live streams, there's less people in them, so I'm wondering what else is going on. I know Gype there, James, he was upset because he wasn't getting a lot of people to watch his. He wanted to get to 9,000 or 9K when it comes to his subscriber. I don't know if he got there or not, but he was he was on a rant swearing that whole bit. And the reality is that turns, I mean, I could care less, but that turns a lot of people off. It's almost like you're begging. You know, everybody's trying to do well out here. So, you know, I don't think he's ever been to one of my, you know, I'm a subscriber to his, and I've been to his stuff a bunch of times. And I don't expect him to come to mine. I mean, he's got thousands of subscribers, but the reality is he's expecting people to come watch his content and his stuff, but then he's upset, you know, that you're not going to see his. So it's kind of interesting. He wants a one-way street, and I've seen this a few times. He's not the only one. I'm just calling him out right now, where yeah, it's okay if, you know, he's all mad because you're not going to go see his stuff, but you know, I don't see him ever. Only time I see him is I see him in other people's live streams trying to get more people. So he's an interesting fellow. I don't know if that's, I mean, I'm just taking one piece of the pie, what I've seen over the last probably, I don't know, at least 6 weeks of that I've seen from his channel. That seems to be kind of his MO. I'm not sure, you know, what he is as a person. I just know him as the spectacle of YouTube. Jelly Duck 100. Hello, Jelly Duck. Hello there. Hope you're doing great today. Well, thank you so much. I'm doing quite fine. Thank you for coming into the chat here. We got a few people, and like I thought, if BET's here, and so isn't meant to be RVing, is that I figure like 11:30 you might start to see some more people. I think you know, barring everybody staying healthy and all that bit, I'm probably going to have to start making my live streams a little bit later in the morning, because I think people just aren't people just aren't morning people. That's just the simple truth. Unless I'm going to get people from like the other side. That'd be interesting if I did a really early live stream, like 7, 8 o'clock, and see where I'm getting other people. That might be an idea. I might do that next. No, I'd have to do that next weekend. Or maybe I'll do that Friday morning or something like that. Or Thursday night. I might do a few lives and see where more people are coming in at, you know, timeline or day. See which, you know, depending on the day or depending on the time, see who's coming in and when. See, 3 people. You drop right out. So, do you guys have any questions about disc problems? I know I talked about that. You know, I had 2 videos now. One on, obviously more specifically with exercises that I have for my back playlist. That's what's playing right now is this disc one, as well as the more theatrical one that I dropped yesterday with Scully. I think I'm going to add Scully even longer. It takes a lot more work to get Scully alive, but I think I might do him, Scully, on the front end. I'm putting more of his content on the back end to see if people will watch it longer, and I'm not sure I'm getting any well, I know people are watching it longer because they'll usually comment, like BET, she's wonderful. She commented on Scully because I backloaded him in regards to when I used him on the show. I used him later in the show versus the front of the show. I'm gonna try and put him. Maybe if I put him every like 30 seconds to a minute, as well as obviously the content, more B-roll. See, I got to play with it a little bit more, but I'm kind of curious how many more people will watch it because they like more B-roll and you know breaks, quick breaks and stuff like that versus, you know, this other style that I did, which is more instructional based content. What do you guys think? Give me a shout out. Do you think the more B-roll content that I did yesterday, or do you think more the instructional stuff? I got 3 people in the house, or at least I did, or at least I have 2 people that can comment. I know there's a few, probably, or maybe none of you guys can comment, and you're all just watching me without having an avatar.
You hold that position for about 10 to 15 seconds, then come down to relax. Now, this should basically make the symptoms
I know Gore Mukhtar. I'm probably never gonna enunciate his last name correctly. He's doing live streams every day, and I've noticed over the last 3 weeks that he's been doing it. He's getting a lot more people consistently in his live streams because he's doing it every day. He's getting probably between 20 and 30 people at a time in his live stream. So I know to get more people in your live streams, you need to consistently do it kind of like the same time or right around the same time, and do it for at least 2 or 3 hours almost every day, and that way you get more people. Gaming in Marco 2020. Hi, thanks for coming to the live stream. Do you have any questions? I kind of gave a blanket statement in regards to physical therapy. I dropped my video yesterday about the disc, which is a little bit different, obviously, as you can see from the disc video I did back probably 3 months ago. August Small from Gaming. Why, thank you for putting a smile on. Yeah, I've had probably, 6 people so far? 5 or 6 people in the house right now. And other people's live streams, I've noticed it's been like that. Even Maggie, she's another person I watch, and she just basically does live streaming. She has some of her older content was more show-based, edited based content. But she's been probably, God, at least 2 months, maybe even longer than that, just doing live streams, 5, 6, 8 hours at a time. And I've noticed with hers, even she's had it where she's only had maybe 15, 16, 13 people in at one time. Overall for the whole, time span, she's probably got maybe 80 to 100 people to watch, or at least give her a thumbs up or whatever. But yeah, people really are being choosy in regards to how long they stay and what they're staying for. So even the live streams that I'm in are getting a little bit more choosy. And, we're really on the forefront of the live streams because it wasn't until they made 4,000 watch hours where you actually saw people do a lot more live streams. Just because, people can't get that 4,000 hour watch time to get monetized. Not in 12 months or rolling 12 months, If you probably did it hardcore, or as they say, the organic way, it would probably take you, I think it would take me at least a year and a half. And maybe, even doing it this way, it might take a year and a half. It might take a lot more than 12 months. But, it's all about viewership anyways. That's the reality of it. If people, I'm doing great. Well, thank you so much, Gaming, for coming by. He or she probably left.
So what you want to do is initially
Thanks for coming.
position that we'll go over. Stay tuned for that, as well as some of the exercises.
So, yeah, this time of the day on Sunday is pretty rough. I think, because I've done this time slot long enough on Sundays, and at least 4 weeks. So I've done it long enough to realize that this time of the day, for some reason, either people aren't on YouTube at all, or I've missed them either before they were on earlier, or I'm on too early for them and they're on later in the day. So I think there's some of that going on, because usually I've had people in the 10s, the 15s into my live streams. So I think I'm going to cut out the 10, 10:30, and we'll see what happens here between 11 and 12, and see if I get more people, because that time slot you know, maybe if I maybe fried or something like that, I'd do this earlier. It might be a better time slot.
The disc, as the fluid itself is leaked out into the space, into where my
Yeah, you see, I'm down to 2 now.
into the canal, and or it fragments. Basically, a piece of
Oh, David came by.
inside there.
David Cinto, I don't blame Scully. I wouldn't want to be out on the floor either, especially with no neck. Always great information for your videos. David Centino, or Centennial.
Treatment exercises you're going to
He's a guy, he's really great. There's a shout out to him. And he's got a good channel. He's got an eye for editing when he does his videos. His last one was really nice. It was like he went to a museum or something like that. And he kind of pulls you into it, you know, different angles and stuff like that. He's probably got a nice camera because you see how he moves the camera around smoothly and quite well when he does his videos.
offline, or I can discuss it in another video.
Thank you for stopping by.
But give you these 3 actual exercises you can do at home once you realize you're having some disc issues.
So,
which is usually
I know David's up.
that passes
Now, whether he's going to come to my live stream or not, that's another story.
that you have.
He might not. So, let's just talk about my other live streams. My live stream on Wednesday, 3 days ago, got 84 views. My live stream last Sunday, it's got 95 views.
Give you some exercises.
The last live stream before that, which is that following Wednesday, got 97 views.
Exercise number 1. Best position you can put yourself in is not sitting.
My live stream,
Lying on your side.
not last Sunday, but the Sunday before, got 119 views. So I'm getting between, you know, the 80 to 120 range, depending on the views.
Fill up.
So,
Take some ice.
yeah. Let's see, the one video I thought was going to do well, which is how to reduce anxiety at home. I was kind of playing off the whole, you know, COVID, everybody stressed out. That only got 79 views. I was really surprised. Really surprised. I thought it would have did better than that. It got really good title search. It was, I used TubeBuddy, which is, it's a, what do you want to call it? Add-on program or whatever you want to call it. I'm sure there's a better term for it. But essentially, you know, and you can put your titles in and see where your channel is going to hit in regards to what your competition is, and kind of give you an idea if that a search title is very good or not. And yeah, it got a solid search, but needless to say, it just didn't perform well. Fixing SI joint pain 4 weeks ago it's got 95 views so far. Hip pain, for some reason, snapping hip, treatments for hip pain, they always seem to do quite well. Shoulder did well. The slap shoulder video did well. That was 162 views. That was a month ago, though. So, some of these videos, like that's a month or 2 months, I seem to still get people watching those, which is awesome for me. So, because the kind of content I have is more of established, you know, treatment that's been around for a long time. If you have this type of problem, whether it was, you know, educated 3 years ago or today or yesterday, the treatment plan is going to be the same for that particular diagnosis. So my content, basically, it's pertinent all the time. But my best one is still that snapping hip one. That one's done quite well. I think I'm like 1,300 views on that so far. So right now I have 2 in the house. I have a dedicated 2 people. A lot of people just kind of out and about today, not doing too much. So we've been on, what, about an hour? Let's see here. How long have I been on now? This tells me right down here. All right, I thought it tells me.
Probably should see a doctor anyways if you're having some disc issues or just nerve pain down the leg, just to make sure that it's.
Let's see.
But this would be really good for that.
Oh, I don't see it.
That is the positions that I would put.
Oh, there it is. 50 minutes and 18 seconds. I got 2 people watching. Yeah, that's kind of nice. It gives me an idea. It doesn't tell me who's watching.
Doing more lying on your
Nope.
stomach. Staying out of that.
Nowhere to click on that. It doesn't tell me who's watching.
The spine. You take the pillow out and just lying.
Gaming with Marco 22 says bye. Meet to be RVing. See you later. I have to run. Enjoy it. We'll catch you later. Bye. So I got 3 people watching. What? Who's coming in watching me? Let's see. Usually it's wonderful family members. Let's see what I got here.
If symptoms, let's say they're on your right leg, let you do this position, or if it's on your left leg, they'll do the opposite side. Just pretend it's on your right side.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Your right. Your leg stays straight, and your trunk moves.
Oh, I see. You got a lot of people online right now. We got a couple people. Got Sunshine Cooper doing live. Maggie Rooks. She's always doing lives.
Don't go away being straight on. Now, you shift to your right, and your leg symptoms gets worse. That's also me to stop doing it. It's enough.
We'll see what happens here.
Talk to your doctor. But one of these two positions,
So we got. See, now I'm competing with some of the people that
make your symptoms improve.
they're doing their live. So I want to thank you all for coming right now. Let's see. Let's see how many Maggie has. So Maggie is. Oh, she's got an error on her upload. Walt, Maggie. And let's see Sunshine.
Leave some comments down below.
Oh, I see Sunshine's doing slow too.
Like I always say, if you like the content, love to have you subscribe and ring the call bell down below. You can see my upcoming videos.
Yep, Sunshine's doing slow too, and she's a big live channel. So she's only got 3 people.
Keep smiling. This is Average Joe PT, where we're here to reduce your pain, reduce anxiety through education, and improve your function through physical therapy and fitness. Now today we're going to
So yeah,
good old Mr.
Oh.
and Mrs. Disc.
everybody's running a little bit slow today. I guess that's to be expected.
Fragmentation. What all these terms mean.
I haven't had any questions today, so I'm wondering if I should have made my
Disc issue.
title a little bit more specific. I made it generalized because I was hoping people might have more questions about just physical therapy, or the differences, or the type of content, or talk about the disc or whatever else is going on. But yeah, I'm really surprised. Got 4 in the house. Hello, everybody. Putting a hello out there to everyone. I think last week I did talk about the disc a little bit. I did when I talked about the neck. So there wasn't really much to add on to that. I talked about the different types of surgeries there are for discs, where they can, trim part of it off. They can cut part of the bone here. I call the lamina. And I've always talked about the facet joint and how much of a pain in the back or neck or whatever that is. That's always giving people problems. I talked about the different nerves in the back, the spinal cord, which is part of the central nervous system, versus the nerves that come out from either your neck or your lower back or even your mid back. Those are your peripheral nerves.
basically there's nerve endings only on the outside. The disc itself does not have any nerve endings, so you could have multiple tears within the ring of the disc and not have any symptoms because there's no nerves there until it gets and starts to push out.
So any questions at all?
To the side, one of these side nerves.
I'm putting any questions. Any
You're
questions?
gonna have an issue. That's at that point it's a herniation.
With a question mark.
As I talked
It's kind of redundant, I know, but
you can have
it is what it is. Oh, I got 2 people drop down. I'm surprised.
herniations.
Real slow. I'm really. This is the first time I've been this slow this long.
Some of the disc has
Huh.
fluid itself is leaked out into the space. to
Well.
that,
Let's see if we can get some more people in here.
and or
See, I think let me see myself. Let me share myself out to LinkedIn too. I haven't done that.
any of those last two, if they give you an MRI or an MRI with dye, which is contrast, you're probably going to have to do surgery to get that if it's fragmented out. But that not being the case, treatment exercises you're going to do at home help reduce one of these 3 issues that we're talking about, the bulge.
Let's see. Let's share ourselves up. We did Twitter.
You're not going to have probably physical therapy for that. Probably going to go ahead and make that fragment. Now you can leave comments down below if you want to talk about the type of surgery that I've had.
See me.
Some other disectomies, those
Alright.
types of terms that get thrown out there. You can leave a comment down below and I can discuss that offline, or I can discuss that in another video if you want me to. But give you these 3
If
exercises
you
you can do at home.
have questions.
Once you realize you're having some disc issues, which is usually pain down the side of the leg that passes
Boom. Post done.
on either side.
So,
That's
well, at least it was a
the
successful
that
post.
bulge issue. Now, there's some
Whatever
tips
that
you
really
can do.
means.
I'm not going to go over that. Just be certain you're having pain down, numbness, or burning down one of the legs that passes the knee joint.
All right, we're gonna go to about 11:30. If I don't see any new activity in in the next probably 10 minutes or so, we probably won't get much today. So I might change it up here. Definitely the time. I might even do the day of the week a little bit different because I might start switching some stuff around in regards to I see less activity being done on Sunday and a lot more activity being done on Saturday. So I might switch up the day I drop my show versus the day I drop my live stream. I might end up switching my live streams to Saturday and dropping my shows on Sunday. That might be a good idea. That will also give me an extra day to actually, make my show a little bit better too. And as well as I don't see a lot going on here yet. I'm down to me, myself, and I here, I think, right now. Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody who came today. It was very nice of you all to come to this live stream. Not really much interaction today. Today's kind of a quiet day. First in a while. I think at all. I think even when I first did my first live stream, I had more interaction, but we'll see here. I'm going to stand here. I'm going to wait. We're going to wait about 10 more minutes. I'm going to click us out here. Give us about 10 minutes and see what happens. I'll be right back. I'm going to see if we got some more people coming.
This can give you a lot of good comfort. Something as simple as that when you're having disc nerve issues down the side of the leg. Like I said, you're always limiting sitting. Sitting is the worst pressure that you can put on the disc, even if it's proper sitting. Now, proper sitting, you're going to use good old magic towel. You've seen in my other videos. Just roll up a piece of either a rag or I don't want anything too thick. You're just going to put some tape around it while it's rolled up. Magic towel. And essentially what you're doing is when you're staying away from the slump. Coming up nice and tall. And you put that towel roll down at the tailbone blocks you from rolling down. Alright? So, that's the best thing you can do in position-wise. Lying on your back, lying on your stomach, and lying on your side against the wall or pillows behind you so you don't feel like you're rolling back with ice. 3-4 times a day, 15-20 minutes at a time. Limit your sitting. You're going to do this faithfully for at least 72 hours. Get that inflammation to calm down. And then if it doesn't, that's immediate. You need to go see your doctor. You probably should see your doctor anyways if you're having some disc issues or just nerve pain down the leg, just to make sure that it's called mechanical. But this would be really good for that. So that is the positions that I would put you in, what you should be put in to reduce your disc issues. Now, typical exercise you want to start doing after 72 hours, doing more lying on your stomach, staying out of that, what I call letter C on the spine. You take the pillow out and just lie in your stomach, come up on your elbows, and you hold that position for about 10 to 15 seconds, then come down and relax. Now, this should basically make the symptoms, if you're having leg symptoms, should make them reduce. Not increase your leg symptoms. You might have increased lower back pressure and pain, but you should have reduced leg symptoms from this exercise. If you don't, stop immediately, you have to go see the doctor. This position, once you hold for 10, 15 seconds, come down flat, back up on your feet for a good 10, 15 times. That feels pretty good. You can come and start to do like a half press up. Come up and hold for a second, and then come down and relax. Then come back up.
I'm back.
Now, this is a little advancement.
I got 2 people. I got 1 other person in the chat.
Symptoms, let's say they're on your right
I got
leg,
5 thumbs up.
let you do this position, or if it's on your left leg, you'll do the opposite side. Let's just pretend it's on your right side. You're going to be on your stomach.
Give me a holler. Who's here?
Your right.
Is there anybody here that can put something in the comments, or are they just from another platform?
5 to 10 seconds, and then come down, relax, and then come up on your feet. Now, this position is if your leg symptoms don't go away, being straight on. Now, if you shift to the right and your leg symptoms gets worse, that's also
It seems like if you can get to that threshold of probably like 8 to 10 people at one time in your actual live stream, it seems to kind of feed onto itself at that point. Because they have a snowball effect.
If you don't, that's a clear sign you need to go
But I don't see it much going on today. I got an hour in yet? Yeah, I got an hour and 3 minutes in right now.
You might have some more back pain, but your leg symptoms should be resolving, and all you have is where the pain started from.
Well, I think at this point, people, I don't see a lot coming in, so I want to thank you, who's ever still out there. It's probably a family member, something like that, that's in the live stream, or someone who doesn't have an avatar. So I want to thank you for at least coming to watch my stuff. And I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do for my live stream on Wednesday. I'm uncertain at this point. I got to think about where I might kind of change up my show a little bit, where I actually drop it on Sunday instead of Saturday. And that way I have it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So I have 3 days. So we'll see. And we'll go from there.
We're going to go over that today, as well as give you some treatment ideas to help reduce your disc issues.
Bye for now.
Stay tuned, here we go. Alright, let's talk about the disc. Now, it's gelatinous type filling, and it essentially gives the cushion or support between the bones